All right, y'all. Thank y'all for being on tonight. I am so excited to chat with you guys. Um, and yeah, so I just asked everyone right before I clicked record, I asked everybody to type in the chat box anything that Cincy has given you that's less than $100, or it can even be free. It doesn't have to be tangible. So I'm just going to read off some of the things because I know some people are driving and all of that. So new friendships, self-esteem, something for yourself, product credit, support group, confidence, new friends, confidence and self-worth, friendship and bonds, family friendships. Like I keep seeing that over and over. Motivation, drive, me time, new friendships, home full time with my daughter, a cruise, yes, free trips, new goals, support, a drive I never knew I had, the drive to want more for myself and my family, recognition, taught me how to leave my comfort zone, a title other than mom. Okay, so that is exactly what I wanted you guys to start talking about, because I think that I'm just gonna like go with the flow and start talking from the heart, but I think that a lot of times when we are sponsoring people, we are leading with the money aspect of it. And I'm going to be honest, a lot of people do not join a network marketing company for the money, because a lot of people do not believe that we actually make real money. There are so many people out there still that do not believe that we are making real paychecks. And that's fine, because we're over here knowing that we do. But I really want you guys to take a look at everything that you typed yourself, and everything that you see all of these other leaders in the chat box talking about. And if you need to write those things down somewhere, write them down, because I want you to use those things when you're having recruiting or sponsoring conversations. I want you to use those things when you're posting on social media, because I know, and I'm doing this training for myself as well. I know a lot of times when I start talking about something, it's because I need to check myself too. And I've realized, like, I keep talking about money and I keep talking about how I retired from my job, and nobody can relate to that. Very few people can relate to that because they haven't been doing the work that I've been doing for 5 years. And if I would see somebody, when I saw Chloe post about how she retired as a nurse, I was doing Scentsy at the time, and I knew it was real and I knew I could be successful, but I wasn't like, I'm going to retire, I'm going to stay home. I never thought that that would be me. And so I really want us to think about all of the different things, especially the things that you guys are saying about friendships and a title other than mom, and joining for the fellowship and the confidence. Like, that is what we need to be leading with, because I feel like when I say we, I'm talking to myself too. If we switch that, that is going to make a lot more people feel like they can relate to us and feel like they want that. Because I mean, I don't know about you, but I probably have like 3 friends. I mean, I probably have like 3 friends in general, but 3 friends outside of Cincy. I want you to think about how many friends that you actually have that are real, legit, ride or die friends outside of Cincy. Chances are, as adults, it's nowhere near like it was in high school when you had the big group of friends, right? And so I want you guys to realize that what we have is special. And so many people would kill to have this type of fellowship, because I'm going to be honest, with my friends that are not in Cincy, they're not very goal driven. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that, but they're happy where they're at, and they don't really have goals to have a beach house or quit their job or whatever it is that we dream bigger. I dream big with you guys. I don't dream big with my friends from home or my friends that I've had forever and ever. And it's nothing wrong with that, but these are the people that are on this call right now. These are the people that you need to sit with. These are the people that you need to be reaching out to and telling your goals. These are the people that you need to be holding yourself accountable with, not Joe Schmo that you've known since high school. Because I don't talk to my high school friends, or even just some of my best friend isn't in direct sales at all. She doesn't believe in direct sales. And I mean, she still sort of laughs about it, but she's like, I'm so proud of you. You're getting to not teach. But she doesn't understand it. So I really want you guys to realize that if you believe in this and this is something that you want for you and you really do want to dream big, that this is the table that you need to be sitting at. And that's just something that has continued to hit me just because, I mean, yes, this is my first week of actually being retired because other teachers went back to work. But I mean, think about how many people are actually going to check on you if you quit your job. How many people are actually going to care whether or not you have the money to pay your bills, or actually care that you took a step away to put your family first? Very few people. I've heard from like 3 people, 3. And that's fine. I worked at this elementary school I was at for 10 years, and I've heard from 3 people. Granted, not all of those people have been there, and I'm not salty about it at all because I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. But that's why I'm sitting here on this call tonight, because all of you guys are going to dream big with us. So I just want you guys to think about that. And I'm saying that because I needed that reminder for myself too. You've got to speak to people's pain points, and not everybody's pain point is going to be more money. And I even saw lots of you guys posting about they didn't join for the money. And I've got to check myself for that because I needed the money desperately, but not everybody was in that situation. So I am going to sort of just take a step back. I don't really even know where that came from. That was just kind of how I wanted to open the call because I wanted you guys to have something to chat about. I want you guys to remember that Scentsi's core values, somebody type them in the chat box for me. Thank you, Jen. I didn't mean that like in a bad way. I was just kind of using it as a point. I completely understand that you guys are swamped. I can't even imagine. But I want somebody to tell me Scentsi's 3 core values. Simplicity, authenticity, yes, and generosity. Okay. Simplicity, authenticity, and generosity. If you are striving to do those things every single day, you are going to find success in this business, period. And I think that's something that me, and I know many other leaders have been guilty of, is making things too difficult and not making things simple. Because especially coming out of reunion, and Holly actually voice texted me this today, coming out of reunion, coming out of trainings, coming out of listening to podcasts and the team page posts, guys, you literally have more information than anybody should ever have. I mean, and that sounds crazy, but I think that sometimes I, myself included, we overtrain because there's just so much information. And I, myself, being a teacher, I want to make sure that I'm speaking to everybody's learning style. I know some people like to listen. Some people like to see you do it. Everybody learns differently. And so I try my best to give everybody different perspectives. But what I know happens is that newbies or even new leaders, they see all of the things and they're so overwhelmed that they're stuck and they do nothing because they don't know what to do. So I want everybody, and Anna Alvera, she's on vacation, spending a much needed time away with her family because she's had lots of things going on in the past couple months. She does an amazing training on being a Scentsy Basic. And I want you guys to remember that we are going into the fall, which is the best season in Scentsy. And simple is what everybody needs to be doing. When you see all of the things going on and it doesn't bring you joy and it's too crazy, if laminating something doesn't bring you joy, don't freaking do it. I do it because I like laminating. I'm not a teacher anymore, so I'm going to laminate things because that makes me feel good. I'm going to print things in color in like crazy fonts because that makes me feel good. Not because I feel like I have to, because it doesn't matter how your host gets the information. The information is the same, whether it's laminated or whether it's printed on black and white paper. whether it's printed, whether it's handwritten, the information is the same. So I want you guys to really realize that as leaders, we need to make sure that we're making it as simple as possible for anybody to find success. And when I say that, that's why I like preach the whole 5-video boot camp that I did on YouTube. If you're not familiar with it, I really encourage you to go watch it. They're less than 5 minutes a piece. The reason why I went back and did that is because I realized I was giving my new people too much information. And that's what happens with newbies is we overwhelm them with way too much. They have no idea where to start. And so the same thing comes from leadership. We need to make everything simple. And I did a video on my team page last week on like the daily modes of operation. You need to decide when you're going to do your things and how often you're going to do them, because I can't decide that for you. And your sponsor can't decide that for you, because you have to decide what you can handle. For me, I'm a workaholic. Like I have to be doing something or I feel super guilty. Like sitting on the couch is not an option for me. I don't do that. And like I have to schedule that time with my husband. And I know some people are like, what? I don't do Netflix and chill. Like that's just not what I do. And so I'm go, go, go. And it's hard for me to understand people that aren't go, go, go. But that's okay. Not everybody has to be that way. And we're going to coach people out if we're not doing things simple. So when I say you need to simplify things, you need to just have a system, something that you can do every day or every week that is income producing. So you need to be talking to people. You need to be booking parties. You need to be sponsoring. You need to be growing your network. It's simple. This business isn't hard. It's simple, but it does take work, and you have to be intentional about it. And guys, like the compound effect is real. Everything that you do over and over and over, it's gonna pay off. It may not have paid off yesterday. It may not pay off for another month, but if you continue to do it and you're consistent, it will pay off. But the thing that I see with so many leaders is that they get tired or they go too hard and they quit instead of rest, and they just stop everything altogether and their business dies. And consistency is so, so, so important. So you have to decide what system you're going to use. You need a system for all three legs of success, for sales, for sponsoring, and for coaching. That's it. Yes, there's a million systems out there. Yes, there's a million different things that you can try. Nobody can tell you what's going to work for you. You have to decide. And when I get off this call, there is a file that Christina Stainbrook made. She's amazing. She's the one that really came up with the whole scalable systems thing. I'll post it on our team or on our leaders page. It's some systems and it's some ideas, but it's all on one page. So that may be what some of you guys like. Like I said, one of the core values is simplicity. Do things simple, okay? But you have to make a commitment to do it. So, and if what you're doing right now isn't working, you've got to change it, and change it to something that somebody else that's successful is doing. Don't just like go and create something. There's been so many things that have been created for us. Find something different that you feel like is going to work for you. Yeah. And then you can stay busy in or on your business, making samples, reorganizing your office like I've been doing. You can stay busy for hours upon hours, but this business doesn't take hours upon hours to be successful. So stop doing the things that don't matter. Have all of the sponsoring conversations, book your parties, meet your people, and don't worry about everything else. Don't worry about being perfect. And I am so sorry for your loss. I just saw that comment. The next core value is authenticity. This one is so, so, so important to me. And I think the reason why it's so important to me is because I know that before Cincy, I wasn't authentic. Not saying I was fake, which I mean, I sort of was, but I was in a relationship that I didn't even know who I was anymore. And I was doing the things that I felt like I needed to do to be liked by everybody else. I wasn't confident. I was very self-conscious. I didn't know who I wanted to be. And through Scentsy, I found myself. And through Scentsy, now I'm authentic. And my kids are crazy. And my life is crazy. And I don't hide that I have a bruise on my leg the size of like Africa because my friend's husband tackled me playing flip cup. Like, I don't hide those things. And that's why I'm relatable. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be you. And that is why people are going to come to you, because you're you, not because of Scentsy. People aren't buying Scentsy from Scentsy. They have to buy Scentsy from you. And if they don't like you and you aren't building a relationship with them, they won't buy from you anymore. They won't. They'll find somebody else, or they'll just stop buying. They know if you're being fake. Your people know if you're only posting just because it's the end of the month. Your people know if you're only talking to them because you need a sale. So you have to find you. And if you don't know who you are, that's okay. That's okay. Do some personal development. Listen to some podcasts. Do the things that you need to do to be confident in you, because there's only one life that you have to live, and you're the only one that has to wake up and do it every day. And you don't want to look back and think, gosh, I wish I would have done this or done that. Guys, I'm the most awkward person on the face of the planet. When you come introduce yourself, I don't know if I'm going to shake your hand, hug you, give you a peace sign. Who knows? We're going to have an awkward moment because it's who I am. And I own it instead of being so embarrassed that I just don't do anything. Because I lived for way too long. I lived that life for way too long. And I refuse to live that life anymore. And I honestly feel like that is part of the reason why I'm successful, because I'm real. And because I share the things that have happened in my life. And I'm not scared. And not everybody agrees with how open I am about things. And you don't have to be that open. You don't have to be me. Be you. And nobody can fault you for that. But people are not going to join you, buy from you, believe in you unless they know, like, and trust you. And nobody is going to trust you if they don't know the real you. If all you're posting is the perfectly styled pictures on Instagram. If you're not talking about how you had a bad day and your kids were assholes. Like, you've got to realize that it's okay and that nobody lives that perfect Brady Bunch life. So be you. And then generosity. This is something that Heidi and Orville talk about so much. And I think that if you have a good heart and you are leading with love and you are trying to bless people, whether it's blessing people, like, here we go. Who knows what he's going to say right now? Yes, son. Where's your dad? Go find your dad. Do not tell me no. You will get cut in front of God and everybody. Close the door. This is also the kid who FaceTimed me while I was running earlier because he wanted to know if he could have a new video game when his dad was at home with him. That's where we're at. So anyways, being generous. You have just having a good heart, it's going to come full circle. Like, I don't need to go and keep talking about all of that. Like, be generous. Give more than you take. That is something that Heidi and Orville talk about all the time. So something that I wanted to go back and talk about, because Holly was talking to me about, let me lock this door because now he's doing freaking puppets. Get out of here. Go. Go. This is my life. My life. Mason, stop. Jesus, take the wheel. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Okay, going back to 2 tasks a day. So if 3 tasks a day is too much for you, if you can only do 5 follow-ups a day, then break it down that way. But the biggest reason that I see that people are not following or not being successful is because they get overwhelmed because they don't know what to do. You just need to wipe this. When you're overwhelmed like that, wipe the slate clean Thank you. Jesus, take the wheel. Wipe the slate clean and start back over with income producing activities. The most income producing thing that you can do is have sponsoring conversations. After that, it's booking parties. After that, it's sales. Why? Because building your team is going to build you for the future. Bookings are also for the future, but you're also growing your network. And sales is your income for today. So that is something that you should always be doing. So when you're overwhelmed, just wipe your slate clean. Ask God to take it away. Write down your to-do list of just income producing activities and let everything else go. Because my office is a hot mess behind me. I literally have 80 pounds worth of Scentsy sitting in my living room that I need to unbox that all decided to show up on one day. And I am very overwhelmed. But I needed to come on here and talk to you guys and make sure that I am filling y'all's cup. And talking to you guys fills my cup. And this is something that I feel very, very strongly about. You have to take time for you, but you also have to take time for your team. But you have to remember that you need to put your personal business first. And that's why you guys will have realized that I haven't opened up a ton of coaching calls. And even some of the ones that I had scheduled, I had to cancel because I had to protect my energy. And as leaders, people are going to take and take and take from you. And it's okay to rest so you don't get burnout and just want to quit everything. But you rest, don't quit, and you just continue to work on those income producing things. So if you're super overwhelmed because people want to have a Facebook party, I'm going to tell you that I hate Facebook parties, but I've had no choice but to fix my setup and do Facebook parties. But instead of focusing all my time on scheduling one, I invested in a scheduling service. I took all the time to post all of those things in that scheduler. And so now when someone wants to have a Facebook party, it's so simple for me to do that. I just have to go to my scheduler, post the party, and then I'm good to go, because that's working smarter, not harder. Because nobody has time to be running 4 Facebook parties if you have to go schedule every single post in every single group. So like, I don't do that. Otherwise I'd go crazy. So I use Vizly, Vizzlie. The only thing I'm going to say about Vizly is there is not an app. So you can only really do it on the computer. There is another one called Cinchshare, Cinchshare. I'm just going to type them in. Cinchshare. Okay, well, I guess, oh, there we go. There's one called Post My Party, etc. I like Vizly. I don't do a whole lot of like scheduling from my phone because it just overwhelms me. I'd rather sit down at the computer with my phone on Do Not Disturb and do it that way. I pay for it because that way I can have multiple parties going on at one time. That was super overwhelming for me, but I've been running 4 Facebook parties this week. 4 this week, and the work's already done. And so now all I'm having to do is go and comment on stuff when people ask me questions and things like that. So I'm not having to stress about it. I even have, yeah, Anna, so you can share templates, and I have different templates. So for instance, it's $10, Sandy. I pay for the smallest one, and it's $10. I have different templates, which they're very similar, but I had just like a regular Facebook party for a customer. And then I also had a Facebook party going on that was an earn-a-kit. So I changed a little bit of the stuff around to make it sound like it was like for her. I was still the one posting. But guys, we're about to flip her party, and she's at 935 PRV. She's been a bomb host, and she's been working really, really well. But that's how I make sure that I stay on top of it, because I don't have time to do it any other way. So all of the ideas in the world are fabulous, but they mean nothing if you don't take action. So I wrote that down after Holly voice texted me. You can have a million ideas, but if you don't take action on them, it doesn't matter. So I live and die by a running to-do list, but more so like a wish list type thing. So I have like 2 separate lists. It's going to sound crazy, But I have like a list of, so there's some YouTube videos that I want to create for my customers to add to my Facebook parties. But I'm not going to stop what I'm doing right now and go and make that video when it's not a necessity. I'm going to wait until I do a live video or I do something on my team page and save it and share it and like use it twice. So I'm working smarter, not harder. Otherwise, I would never have any time in the day to do anything. So I have that running list. So I remind myself, but then I'm like, okay, I need to go and close out this party and text my Earnikit so we can make sure that we get her settled, and I need to get my AMI to 0. So that's my schedule for tomorrow. But then I have that long running to-do list of the other things that I need to do, because as a leader, most of the time, we have lots of other things to do. I haven't even sent out promotion emails this month, and I normally have done that by the 10th. But I don't have a laptop. I have a computer up here in my office, and my daughter's at home and she ain't allowed in here. So I have to pick and choose when I can be in here and what I'm doing. And I had to do my own income producing things first. And that's not selfish. Nobody's going to die on our team because they haven't got their promotion email from me yet. It's going to be okay. And that's what you guys need to realize as a leader. And I love that Sandy said that over to the side. Sandy said that she lets her team know if she's not going to be available. I've made it very, very clear with my team when my business hours are. And I know some people think it's crazy for me to be off on Saturday and Sunday, but when else am I supposed to be off? You can text me, you can email me, but for the most part, I'm not going to respond till Monday because I honestly use the weekends for my family and for my personal business. Yeah, you may see me posting on social about Scentsy, but that doesn't mean I have to respond to anybody. And the same goes for you. It's okay to not respond because there are going to be people that are going to take, and I do get it that some people, like, the only time they can work Scentsy is on the weekend. I get it. And I am different when it comes to newbies. Like new people, no, I'm not going to just not respond to them. New people are kind of different, but you've got to take time for you, because if you're working from home, you're never going to be off work. This past weekend, we went off and went to IKEA and went to a friend's birthday party, and I had like 87 text messages when I looked down. It used to really bother me, and it still sort of does. It makes me like twitch a little bit, but I have to remember to protect my peace. So remember that. But when it comes to team members and leadership, nobody in this business can succeed alone. Nobody. So you cannot sign up all the people and expect to be successful alone. You have to train them. You have to help them rise. But remember that not everybody that joins this business wants to be a boss. Not everybody that joins this business wants to make more than $100 a month. And that's okay. And I think sometimes as leaders, especially new leaders, they get really frustrated or really like down on themselves when somebody joins and they aren't finding success the way that they did. It's okay. That just means that they're not one of the 1%ers. You just need to find new people. And that doesn't mean you're not going to give to them, but you can't want it enough for people that don't want it for themselves. So you have to remember that most of the people, and I'm going to be honest with y'all, let's look, there are 28 people on this call. There are over 200 lead consultants and above in our group. And there are 28 people on this call. So I want you to think about those numbers. You guys are the ones that are showing up. And yeah, I notice who shows up. I do. And I know your leaders do too. And I know that we notice who's always asking for our time and asking for a coaching call, but not on a leader's call, and not here taking notes and not participating on the call. Yes, I know some people have other things going on, and I know the people that watch the recordings. You want to know why? Because they tell me and they reach out and they say something that I said from the call. So know that it matters who shows up. And these are the people you see right here, these are the people you need to be sitting with. These are the people that you need to be asking to be your accountability partner. These are the people that you need to be cheering on. These are the people that you need to be sitting with. Stop dragging people to the table that don't want to be there. I don't care if they're your best friend. I have directors that don't show up. It's okay. I'm not going to beg them to come work their business. I'm not. I never have, and I'm not going to start now. But when they ask me for a coaching call, I'm going to ask them where they were. Why are you not showing up when your team members are and they see you not showing up? So just remember that that matters. And I know that things come up. I'm not saying that they don't. But ask yourself, in every room that you walk into, are you the smartest one in the room? Are you the most successful? Because if that's true, we need to find a new room for you to walk in, because my goal is always to be the dumbest one in the room. I always want to be the least successful. I always want to surround myself with people who are at where I want to go. And that's scary. It's real weird as a woman to like message somebody and be like, hey, been watching you on Instagram, super weird, but I really look up to you and blah, blah, blah. It's weird. It's hard. But you're never going to get where they're going if you don't ask them where they've been. And it's just, stop living in fear. And I see so many leaders not challenging themselves and wondering why they're not successful. You don't grow when you're comfortable. Do you think that it's comfortable to quit a job I've been doing for 10 years? It's the scariest thing I've ever done in my life. But I know that if I didn't do it, I would never grow past where I'm at right now. And I would be giving up and not protecting my peace for my family because I'd be miserable right now. And today, I spent the entire day with my kid putting together IKEA furniture, arguing with him over which way the screwdriver goes, and it taking 4 times longer than it should have. But today was probably the best day Mason and I have had in years, because I was with him and I was with him intentionally, and I turned my phone on Do Not Disturb, and we made some dang good memories. And he'll come in here and drive me freaking crazy because he flushed the dang toilet when I was in the shower on purpose earlier too. But we have had such a good day. And if I hadn't retired, I would have been at school all day today and came home exhausted and overwhelmed with all of the unknowns. And so I want you guys to realize that it takes stepping out of your comfort zone. So whatever it is that you're sitting back and thinking I should do, I should message her, I should ask her about the business, I should reach out to them and ask them about a Facebook party, start today. Do it scared. Because if you don't do it, you're always going to wonder what if, and you're never going to grow. Because you are not going to grow by staying safe. And stop judging people and feeling like that they don't want what you have, because you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You have no idea what some of these other leaders deal with on the daily. But we come up and we show up for you guys because we know what this can do. And we're not going to quit, no matter how much Satan sometimes tries to make us. And it's okay. Okay, so Amy says that she needs to remember that DND is an option on my phone. Every time I sit down to do one thing, I get sidetracked with messages. Yep, girl, let me tell you. So right now, my daughter naps when she feels like it, so I don't really have a schedule. But when she naps, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and it goes out of my office. Bye. I may come back and have 55 text messages, but your girl had to do some income-producing activities. Your girl had to get her stuff done without text messages blowing up, without any of the things. I tell my husband, hey, my phone's going on Do Not Disturb. If it's an emergency, call me 3 times in a row. Bye. And it's because I have to protect that time. And guys, there's always going to be people asking you questions. There's always going to be people taking and taking and taking. And you have to realize that you have to protect your time. And if that means in the morning before your kids wake up, then make it that time. My kids are never sleeping ever. So I don't get to do that. But I know that she's going to go nap, and Mason now knows my door is closed. This is like off limits. Mommy's really working time, and he doesn't come in here. And so that's what I've had to do to protect that. And that's also why I haven't been able to do a whole lot of coaching calls this month, because I have to work my personal business, because if my personal business isn't okay, nothing else matters. My business will die. Because let's be honest, guys, The people that are the real leaders, the people that are really going places, the people that want it, they're going to figure it out whether you answer their text message or not. They're going to figure it out. They're going to go out and do the things. They're going to find the answer. Sometimes they just need your attention, and that's okay. That's not something that you shouldn't be doing, but it's okay to take time for your business. You have to. You have to. Yeah, so Tiffany said she asked somebody who I've been wanting, asked somebody and she said, I've been wanting to buy from you, but I don't have the money. I didn't say that's okay, maybe later. I said, that's okay, I got you, girl, PM me. And she booked a party. This is all about generosity. This is all about giving back. Don't ever let somebody tell you that they don't have the money, because we have a different answer. They have a business, they can have a party, they can do any of the things. I'm not saying be pushy, but offer the blessing. Offer the blessing. One of my other new girls, I gifted her a free kit. I didn't pay for it. It was host rewards from orders that I'd collected. She needed it. She's going through a divorce and is now a single mom. She needs this blessing. Somebody out there is watching you right now and they need this more than you realize they do. So stop being scared. What's the worst that they can say? No, it's not going to kill you. You're not going to die. Who cares? But if you don't ask them, somebody else is going to ask them. And then you're going to be upset when they join somebody else's team. And it's just, I don't even know what else I want to say about that, except for just stay focused. If today was a bad day and you didn't get anything done, write a new to-do list, put your 2 things that you need to do that are income producing first. Don't do anything else until then. And something that I've also realized is you need to realize when you're at your highest energy and when you're okay, when you're like gonna feel like booking those parties and having those sponsoring conversations. If that's not at 7 a.m., don't do it at 7 a.m. But if you know you're gonna be tired at 8:30 after your kids go to bed, don't let yourself wait, because you're always gonna make that excuse. You're always gonna have a reason to not do it, but you can't make excuses and make money at the same time. You can't make excuses and build a business at the same time. And you can't stay comfortable and grow at the same time. So whatever it is that you've been scared to do or saying yes to that you know you need to say no to, stop being scared. Because guess what, guys? When people get mad at you or people get upset because you have a boundary, it usually means that that boundary was way overdue. It usually means that they're taking from you and they're probably not giving back anything in return. And as a leader, sometimes that happens. A lot of times that happens. And just realize that it is 2020. This year has been crazy. But anything that somebody doesn't know is a choice. Because pretty much anything that you want to know is now on YouTube. Between Anchored Sense and some other people that have been creating YouTube videos for Scentsy, pretty much everything you need to know is on YouTube. I totally get it that the news tab needs to be giving us more information. I totally get it that the workstation, sometimes it's really hard to like find different training things. But I know that I can speak for the directors in our group. I know that their team pages have so many resources and so many things. Utilize the albums, utilize the things that they post, just use all the things, okay? Do any other leaders want to say anything about anything or ask any questions? You guys should be able to unmute yourself. Des said that she is scheduling all her posts and parties because she's been on mandatory OT and still needs to run her Scentsy business, and she's here filling her cup. Absolutely. And I love that. And I see that. And I'm telling you, without scheduling posts, my life would be pretty much in shambles. Because guys, like, think about it. Our team pages are for like elementary beginner sharing ideas stuff. Those should all be ran by all of the consultants. not just by your directors. I take the time to schedule one morning post every single day of the week. But besides that, I'm not spending much more time than that because it's just not. Yeah, I have Anna. I've scheduled team page posts through there too. That's how I'm actually scheduling the stuff that's in Leaders in Light right now. I took it from a previous program that we did, and I'm scheduling it through there. Guys, just remember that you always have to be growing, and you need to do something every day to feed your brain. You need to schedule things when you have a minute, like the Facebook parties. And you just need to remember to keep it simple. And if you are having trouble motivating your team members, motivation is not something that you can create. It's not something that you can make somebody wake up and want it. So the more time you spend worrying about making somebody work, the less time you're going to have in finding your next rock star, because it only takes one person to completely change your business, and it can happen overnight. And there are so many 1%ers that are showing up on this call tonight, and I appreciate you guys so much. I see you showing up. I see you sitting with us on this Tuesday night, and I'm proud of you. And I want you guys to know that I see you, and this is hard. And especially with everything going on in the world right now, like, it would be so easy for some of us to just check out. It would be so easy for us to just not care about people. It would be so easy for us to just say, forget it. And that Anna just said, Jessie Lee said, focus on commitment and not motivation. And that's something I wish I would have remembered to say that. Thank you, Anna, because I love Jessie Lee. So if you don't listen to her podcast, she's not everybody's cup of tea because she's very, very high energy. I can't listen to her like if I'm in a if mood, but I listened to her tonight when I was running because she gets me hype. And I take all the notes too. I literally was voice texting my husband. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, just let me send you notes, like, while I was running, because it was good things. And it was something I listened to the other day, and it was like, motivation is going to come and go. Motivation is based on your energy. I mean, how many of us always feel motivated to work out? How many of us always feel motivated to drink our water or whatever? You're not always going to feel motivated to work your business. But if your commitment is there, you're going to do those things, even if it's just the two little things. If you commit to that the night before, you're going to feel guilty when you go to bed if you don't do those two little things for the most part. So make the commitment to do those little things no matter what the day throws at you, and let that be it. Because my commitment, did I really want to come on and do this call? I'm going to be honest, not really, because I have all of that Scentsy downstairs that I need to unbox and the setup I still need to finish doing. But I made a commitment to you guys 3 months ago when I scheduled these out. I'm not going to cancel on you guys just because I have other things that I need to do. I'm always going to have other things I need to do. Your to-do list is never going to be finished. And there's always going to be things that are going to be pulling at you from different areas, but commit to something that brings you joy. Commit to it. No, Facebook parties don't really bring me joy, but at this point, that's kind of how I have to run my business to meet new people. And that's where you're going to find success, y'all. The compound effect and commitment, because you're not always going to feel like it. And that's when it matters the most. Anybody else? Yeah, Sandy. So Sandy said, like, even if that means working your business until 2 or 3 a.m. Guys, a lot of people think that because I'm like staying at home, I have more time to work my business. No, I don't. I have less time because both kids are here and on top of me. And I've stayed up till after midnight numerous nights last week working on things in my business and doing things I had to do when I couldn't do when my kids were awake. And so just remember, this business is simple. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, protect your peace. Don't go look at the team page. Do the things that are working for you. Don't see an idea and feel like you need to drop everything and go do that. That's why I have 2 to-do lists. Sometimes I do see an idea and I'm like, oh, well, that would be really good. I do want to do that, but I can't do that right now. Oh, that's a really cute postcard. Let me save that to my desktop and I can make one like that later. Because I am a legit squirrel. I will squirrel all over the place and start doing 50 things, but have nothing done. And I have to remind myself to stop doing that. I literally sometimes have to be like, woosah. I'm going to walk out of my office and come back in and I'm going to do income producing things and don't worry about everything else. And so that's what you just got to do. Take all that information, put it on a list somewhere else, save it to your desktop in a little folder. I literally have a folder on my desktop that's like things I need to do. And I save it, pictures of stuff that I want to do. But in being a squirrel, that's why a system works. So if you're squirrely like me, you need a system for those things that you need to do in your business. Because if you're not doing it consistently, it doesn't matter. That's why I know that I haven't sent my promotion emails on the 10th, because that's in my system to do. But I haven't done that yet because I've had to work on my personal business. So that's something I'm going to get to tomorrow. So when you see a million emails coming tomorrow, it's because I finally had a minute to focus on that. All right. So if you don't have systems, please put something in place so you can do it over and over, because then it's going to become a habit, and then it's muscle memory, and then you do it over and over, and then you find success. I promise. I promise. Anybody else? Any tips going into the fall? Anything anybody wants to say? All right. Last 2 things I had. I swear I was about to stop. I've been about to stop twice. Okay. So something else Jessie Lee said, belief. You've got to believe in yourself. And the only way that you can find belief is through action and through actually believing it. So when you wake up and you tell yourself that you can't book any parties, you're dang right, because you need to believe it. Even if you're faking it, even if you're lying to yourself. Positive affirmations. I started writing down positive affirmations in a journal every morning. It makes a big difference in how I start my day. I don't let myself respond to emails or anything else. I picked 10 and I've been writing them down in my journal. And I know that sounds silly, but it's like, if I can write down that, I like skip random pages. Mason was in here writing in it. If I can write down some positive affirmations and write them down over and over, I truly believe that you can make them come true. I choose to be happy and love myself today. Because let's be honest, who wakes up and doesn't love themselves sometimes? Who wakes up and you're just in a sour mood? Today, I will chase my dreams, walk in my purpose, and live like it's my last day. I need that reminder, because I know that at some point it's going to be somebody's last day that I love, and then I'll never see it coming. And I need to remind myself of that, because I've lost people way too close to me way too soon. And so I've started doing that to try and really make myself be intentional, because that was my word for this year, was intention. And the last thing that I want to say, and I want to leave you guys with this: you will never regret failure. You're not going to regret failure, because the only difference between people who are super successful in this business are that we've failed forward a whole lot, because we've all failed, and it's okay. But you are always going to regret not trying, and you are always going to regret wondering what if. And failure is a part of life. You just need to choose what it is you're going to fail at and what your actual definition of failing is. Everybody's definition of failure is different, but I love y'all. Remind yourself of all of those things that we talked about at the beginning of the call, about those things that don't cost anything, that Cincy's given us: friendship, hanging out on a Tuesday night, motivation, goals, all those things. Lead with that. Remind yourself of simplicity, authenticity, and generosity, and Cincy's going to take care of you. God's going to take care of you, and I want y'all to know that I pray over y'all's businesses every single day. And I am so very proud of you guys. I love y'all. I will post the recording. I appreciate all of you guys for being on. I see you. I love y'all, and I will talk to y'all soon.